Hey YouTube, it's day 9 of VDog. Sometimes I like to think about my life in analogies or stories because it simplifies my otherwise very complicated life, so I thought of this story/analogy last night before I went to sleep and I decided to share it with you. You're in a prison cell with 19 other people. 10 of you come from a wealthier background and are given 3 very large meals a day. The other 10 of you come from a poor background and are only given 2 very small meals a day, just enough to be able to survive. You're part of the wealthier group of people, and out of this wealthier group of people, 4 choose to segregate themselves from the others and eat their meals separately and talk about how they deserve all the food they've gotten and that the people without food don't deserve food. A 5th person in this wealthy group also believes that they deserve the food that they've gotten, but they decide to give their leftovers to the poor people. A 6th person in this group gives away a quarter of their food at every meal and feels very good about themselves for doing so. The 7th person in this group of wealthy people gives away half their food and also feels pretty good about themselves, though they don't feel the need to brag about it. An 8th person gives away a quarter of their food. They feel pretty good about themselves, but they wish they could do more, but the idea of being hungry in between meals is just too uncomfortable for them to stand. A 9th person gives away 3/4 of their meal at every meal. They don't feel great about themselves, they just feel like it's what they're meant to do. In the group of poorer people, 3 of the people take every opportunity to try and accumulate as much food as possible because they believe that it's a dog-eat-dog world out there and you have to do what you have to do to survive. Another group of 3 people decide to team up and they make sure that the 3 of them always have enough food. Another 2 people refuse any food at all, feeling like it hurts their pride to accept any form of assistance. The last person does what they can to make sure that everyone in the prison cell gets enough food in order to survive. This leaves you with your very large portions at every meal. You know what you should do, and you should give that money to the poor people who have no food, but you find it really difficult. You know it's possible because that other person is giving away 3/4 of their meal at every meal and they're still surviving, and it doesn't seem to be too difficult, though they do go hungry in between meals. But the thought of going hungry in between meals and being uncomfortable is not something you want to experience. But you know the right thing to do is to give those people the food. But you're so hungry, so you eat most of your food and give some of it to the poor. And you tell yourself the same thing you tell yourself after every meal, that next meal you're going to give them more, but you know you won't.